One of the districts is going extreme. They are telling every teacher to take all of their books out of their classroom to be reviewed by a committee that's going to have to take all the time to go through all of the books and look at it. I mean, and that they have to plan out every lesson and have it approved from the beginning to end. That there's not going to be anything that's going to be taught in class impromptu. There are people who promote critical race theory that don't even know what it is. I might try to explain to people, no, they don't teach critical race theory in high school or below. It's not. It's a theory. It's an approach to the study of law and maybe extended to the study of history, but it's very advanced. There is no critical race theory there. What happened was a critical race theory book got into some materials that were intended for teachers to review so that they would have some awareness of the teaching, and they were optional materials. And all of a sudden, this got translated into, this is one of the biggest things, frauds that's been perpetrated. The whole thing. There is no critical race theory being taught in any high school or elementary school anywhere in this country. And yet you'll have people saying, yeah, I want them to continue to teach critical race theory. It's like, do you realize you're playing into a complete fraud of a thing? There is no critical race theory being taught in any high school or elementary school. And I want to scream it from the mountaintops, but nobody will hear me because they're all online. And I can only get to so many people online.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out, because I was under the impression that it was being taught.
It's not. There are some bad things being taught. Some things that are maybe over the top, but it's not critical race theory. They're just labeling anything they don't like critical race theory, right? That's become the term. And
it definitely is a catch-all.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
And what happens is that I think what has happened is that people send their kids off to college, and then they come back for the first Thanksgiving, and their kids say, "Yeah, I attended a critical race theory seminar," and blah blah blah, and so now they hate it. So that's what happened. But that's the level at which you do it. It was created to basically explore the degree to which the court systems or the systems of legal justice could be influenced by racism.
I haven't even heard it in that context.
Yeah,
I've heard it in the context that it's that the United States was obviously built on the back of slavery, and that it is inherently a race-driven society.
That's a theory. That's not what critical race theory is. That is a theory that's out there, and
that a sub-theory in critical race theory?
It's not. See, the critical race theory is actually not even a theory in that sense. It's an educational approach. It's an approach towards studying law, and it's been extended to history, where you look at history from the point of view of saying, how have these institutions possibly been influenced by racism? If so, and sometimes they would conclude, I don't think those decisions or that area of law has been all that influenced by it. It's a frame of inquiry. I mean, it's kind of complicated even for an undergrad, actually. I mean, it's really meant for law school. Even Ben Shapiro admitted that. He said, "Yeah, I encountered it in law school. I didn't like it then, but and when people ask him, well, yeah, somebody even tried to corner him on it. Well, it's not taught in the high school. You're like, it has different meaning now. Well, it has different meaning now because it's been appropriated." Like it, but it really isn't that, and it got turned into this whole thing, and now it's like the rallying cry.
Well, I think that partly plays into the fact that gender is being pushed in school, and so then people hear race on top of that, and
right.
It's a firestorm.
Yeah,
it hits the two markers that get everyone worked up.
Yeah. I don't know. There was a NPR report this morning about there are two school districts in Florida, and one of them under this what is it? The woke is something law. I can't remember What
Don't
just
it's not the "Don't Say Gay" bill, is it?
no, it's the it's that in combination with the anti-woke law. I can't remember, but one of the districts is going extreme. They are telling every teacher to take all of their books out of their classroom to be reviewed by a committee that's going to have to take all the time to go through all of the books and look at it. I mean, and that they have to plan out every lesson and have it approved from the beginning to end. That there's not going to be anything that's going to be taught in class impromptu. You know, there's not going to be like, oh, something happened in the news today. We're going to do something about that. Nothing like that. You know, it's just, and if you're teaching math, that might work because you got a definite thing you got to teach, right? But history, current event, well, we don't even have current events classes anymore. But you know, it's just, but you want to try to, if you want to make history engaging, you got to relate it to things that are happening. You got to be flexible that way, and it's just, that one district. Now another district is saying, no, we're not doing that. No, we're not going to do that, and they've taken a totally different approach as to how they're going to comply. So it just it's so but it's yeah I'll send you the link if I find it. Send it to you because it's an interesting dichotomy as to how they're happening, and it's a little scary. And maybe it all comes down to how they read it. I mean, in Texas, you know, it goes from district to district too as to how they are interpreting their law against critical race theory. What constitutes critical race theory? Is it anything that makes a white child feel bad about their history? Well, what does that even mean? You know, it is it. I mean, I learned some of the most harsh stuff. My parents exposed it to me, but I never felt guilty about it. I wasn't there, you know. It's just so I don't know why I should.
Well, the simple fact is you shouldn't.
Yeah,
I mean, realistically, if we take an objective look at the
right.
situation,
So I never did, and I was never taught to do that.